Here are some more factoring trinomial questions. 7x squared plus 29x plus 4. As usual, we always check to see if we can factor by distributive property, which we cannot because no number goes into 7, 29, and 4. So we must open up a binomial pair. So open up my two sets of parentheses. And how do you split up 7x squared? What times what is 7x squared? Well, that would be 7x and x. Then we need factors of 4 that will help us add together to get 29x. Be aware that on this, whichever one of the factors of 4 will be multiplied times 7x. So that's why factors of 4 will be able to be large enough to add up to 29x, is because one of those factors will be multiplied times 7x. So one set of factors of 4 would be 2 and 2. So if I put in plus 2 and check, 2 times x is 2x, and then 7x times 2 is 14x, and that does not add up to 29x. That is 16x. So that is not the way to factor. And is there any other factors of 4? There is 1 and 4. So we might need to check 1 and 4. So if I put 1 over here and 4 over here, 4 times x is 4x, 7x times 1 is 7x. That only adds up to 11x. I still need that 29x. Switching the factors around will help because we'll have a different number that is being multiplied times the 7. So this time, let's try putting the 1 with the 7x and the 4 over with the x. That way, the 1 times x will be multiplied together, and then we get the 4 times the 7x, which will give us 28x, and that adds together to be 29x, which is what I'm looking for. So this is the correct way to factor that one. 5x squared plus 12x minus 9. So can I do a distributive property? I cannot. So let's try a binomial pair. Split up 5x squared is 5x and x. And I need factors of -9 that will help me add up to be 12x. Since it is a negative number, I have to use one positive and one negative. Possibilities would be -3 and +3. You could also use 1 and -9 or -1 and +9. And so let's try 3 and -3. So if I put the 3 here, +3 here, and -3 here, my inside terms will be 3x. My outside terms would be -15x, and that adds up to -12x, but I need +12x. So since I got the wrong sign, a quick fix is to switch the signs on the numbers that I plugged in. So let's put a +3 over on the right side. So that will be the +3 will be multiplied times the 5, and a -3 that will be multiplied times the x. So -3 times x is -3x. 5x times 3 is +15x, and that adds together to be +12x, so that's the correct way to factor that one. 3x squared plus 5x plus 18, can I do a distributive property? Yes, I can. So I can factor out a 3, leaving us with x squared plus 5x plus 6. And then check to see what's in parentheses will be factored again. And we've got x and x, and factors of 6 that help me add up to 5 would be 3 and 2. So 3x and 2x, that does add up to the 5x that I need right here. So that means I do have the correct answer, and the correct factorization is right there. 15x squared plus 7x minus 2. Can I do a distributive property? I cannot. So let's open up two sets of parentheses. And 15x squared could be split up into 15x and x. So we need factors of -2 that add up to 7x. And the only factors of -2 that we could use would be 1 and -2, or -1 and +2. So if I do 1 and -2, that's going to give me, let's say, -2 over here and +1 over here. That gives me -2x and +15x, which does not add up to 7x. Switching the signs on that won't help either. Just switch the signs and give me a Still give me the wrong answer. It'll give me a negative 13x if I just switch the signs. What if I put the 2 over on the right side and the 1 on the left side? What will that do? So negative 1 times x is negative 1x, and 15x times 2 is 30x, and that will not add up to 7x. It actually made it worse. It's 29x. So it looks like that we're not going to be able to get this to factor, except we haven't tried all the possible combinations for splitting up 15x squared, because there's another way to split up 15x squared, and that way is 3x and 5x, because 3x times 5x equals 15x squared. So sometimes there's more than one way to split up the leading term, the x squared term. So now we can try our combinations of 1 and negative 2. And let's see, if I put a negative 1 over here and a positive 2 here, 2x times 5x is 10x, 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x, and that does add up to 7x. So it took some working, but we did get the correct answer finally on that one. So on this last one, can I factor out anything by distributive property? Yes, I can. I can take a 3 out. That will leave me with 6x squared plus 5x minus 4. So not only is distributive property necessary, it's also helpful, because now there's only a couple of ways to split up the 6x squared, which would be 3x and 2x, or 6x and 1x. If I left it with an 18x squared, there would be an additional way of splitting them up, and just makes it much more complicated. So I'm going to try 3x and 2x. So I need factors of negative 4 that add up to 5. So we can do 2 and negative 2, 1 and negative 4, or negative 4, or excuse me, or positive 4 and negative 1. And let's see, let's try the negative 1 and the positive 4. So 4 times 2x is 8x. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. That does add up to 5x, which means we do have the complete factor right there.